Hello there, welcome to Engineering Insurer. So today we're just going to talk about Tesla insurance. Just have a brief review of this wonderful offering from Tesla. So they started Tesla insurance service in 2009, that was August, when Tesla launched the service. And unlike many other Tesla and other Elon Musk innovations, there wasn't much hype and fanfare for the insurance service offering. So, as we expected in the insurance community, Tesla actually partnered with an experienced insurance company to underwrite their business for them. You know, it's unlikely and it's unusual for an auto company or automobile company or any other company that is not into insurance to just jump into the business of insurance without all the experience. So either they buy some other company that they already know that does insurance, or maybe even a broker or a reinsurance company, but for them to just jump into it as a new company, it wasn't very likely. So they just partnered with a company called State National to underwrite and carry the risk for them. You see, so I've got a lot of questions for people asking me, so when will Tesla insurance expand and be available in other countries of the world? And of course in America, they're just concerned when will it be available in other states. So currently it's just available in California. The company is actually yet to expand to the rest of the United States. This makes sense because with insurance you want to gather your data and your experience well before you can expand into your risk. You also remember that there are reinsurance considerations. So the reinsurers will also just want to be able to gauge your experience with the risk that you want to insure. So it's not, this is risk. This is money at stake. You don't want to just throw money down the drain. So it's my assumption that with the experience that they will gather from the Californian market, they will then be able to use that experience and apply it to other states. As you know, other states probably have different laws and different ways of running things. So it's the same country, but there are different states in America. And then of course when you expand to the rest of the world, things will be even more different, right? So but right now there is no clear date as to when the service will be offered to other states. You see, the other questions that we've been getting were, where do I pay Tesla insurance? This is very easy. Since you're already online, you just jump into the Tesla website. It's called tesla.com/insurance, just like you see there. So it's going to load up, and then you'll see it. It's easy. People already have Tesla cars, or if you've had Tesla car, you're just buying a Tesla car, you've probably come into this website before. It's tesla.com. You see, so you can get your Tesla insurance here. Just type in www.tesla.com/insurance, and then you're going to see this this wonderful web page with some nice cars, and click get quote. And then when you got there, of course you're going to lead you to the sign in page, put your email on that, and that it's quite easy. If you don't have an account, you just create an account, then you'll be fine. Right, so back to where we were. Of course you might want to consider if it's actually cheaper to actually insure your Tesla with Tesla. It sounds a bit sounds different, but it's that's how it is. You have to be sure. So which leads us to the next question that we often get: is Tesla insurance actually cheaper or more expensive than other insurers? So, well, the first thing to consider is that Tesla cars, the cars themselves, the motor vehicles, have always been a bit more expensive than our traditional, cars, the normal cars that we've had. You see, so because of the nature of insurance, the more expensive your car is, the more expensive the insurance. You see, so if you also look at the fact that Tesla cars, there's still a few of them. Yes, it's becoming a mainstream. Yes, there's so many people who are buying Teslas, and everyone wants to buy a Tesla now, but still they're not as many as our traditional cars, or Toyotas, our Hondas, our Chevys, our Fords. So it's still, the company is still picking up. It's going to grow big if they keep managing it the way they're doing it now. It's going to grow big, you see. So the challenge that they have now, of course, in terms of insurance, because insurance is a game of numbers, is that economies of scale, they're still not yet there. Of course, because insurance, you need to have the numbers. You just need to have the numbers, you see. So the other problem is, of course, to do with spare parts. I've heard someone complaining that it took them three months just to get a spare for them to fix their car after he was involved in an accident, you see. And you find that Tesla wants to have a lot of control over their production, you see. Whereas other companies, they outsource. They do a lot of outsourcing in terms of manufacturing of spares and critical equipment, that kind of thing. But Tesla doesn't do that much. So because of that, sometimes it takes time for them to be able not just to get your spares, but even to repair your car. It might take time. Nonetheless, a lot of people just cut them some slack. The guys are doing great. They're doing a great job. It's a new company. They're trying to do new things, great things. Their market is in America. A lot of it is in America. Of course, they are having some wonderful works even in Australia. There's the solar farm, the battery farm. That's what they call it. So they are contributing to other countries in the world. But right now, I think they are still trying to make sure that they saturate and that the California market, understand as much as possible about that market, where they started everything. And it looks like it's working. But still, from a consumer perspective, this thing of spares and the inconvenience is always going to be an issue. But I think as time goes, it's going to get better for people. Yeah, because it is a new technology, right? So then if you look at from their own website, they are saying that their insurance offering is supposed to be, or is 20 to 30% lower than the rest of the insurance market, right? And from what they're saying, that's how it's supposed to be. I've heard a lot of people saying that actually those numbers actually are true. There's someone who actually say that he did get a quote that was 20% less than the one that he got from Geico, right? Well, that still remains, well, it maybe is true. I think it's true. He's a trusted person, right? So how much does Tesla insurance actually cost? Well, the simple answer is that it depends. According to Tesla, they are offering, like I've already said, is 20 to 30% lower than the rest of the insurance market. It seems to be true, actually. But of course, there are some companies like Progressive which have been known to offer actually more competitive rates. But the best way, if you can do yourself a favor, you just go to that Tesla website. This one, you see this one that we went to last time. Sign in, get yourself a quote, and then when you've got yourself a quote, you can then be able to compare. There's also a quote from here. You can also just go to insure.com, get yourself a quote there. I'm not getting anything from insure.com. Yeah, so hopefully, if you're able to just go through there, get yourself another quote, see, what whether it's competitive or not. If you don't want to go through all these online channels, you can always just approach your broker, ask them to help you out, maybe negotiate on your behalf. Because you see, insurance is different for everyone, because as it depends on your age, depends on your loss history, how many accidents have you had before, your gender, your marital status, all these things, they play a role in determining your actual cost of insurance. So you need to be aware of all of these things, all of these factors which come into play. All right. So now we just asked, so is Tesla insurance good? If you have a Tesla, I would recommend that you insure with Tesla, because not only do they understand you and your car better, they're also likely to be much cheaper than everybody else out there in the market. And they've got tons of data from all the Teslas on the road. and they've got information on driver habits, the reaction of their cars to different situations. You know, they are the best people who to insure their cars. You understand? And that's why I think Tesla is actually in a better position to play a critical and pivotal role in the insurance of Tesla cars. You see, after all, they are the ones who know better about how the actual costs of repairing your Tesla if God forbid something happens to your car. Right. So the other questions that people ask is who underwrites and backs Tesla insurance? So the answer is simple answer is State National. It's a company called State National Insurance Company. It's quite a reputable organization. I'm sure a lot of you will testify. And I think the way in which Tesla has managed this insurance side has been done quite well. You know, I've heard a lot of guys saying that one guy had an accident and he was saying that he was able to get that reported through the Tesla app, to report it to the Tesla guys, who then actually he wasn't actually called by Tesla, but he was called by, I think there's another company called Crawford. I think I'll just confirm. So they called him. It appears they are an international claims management company. So they were able to call him because it appears that Tesla actually outsources their claims payment to another company, which then pushes the claims payment. So, and then he was able to get, the assessor come to him very quickly. I think within about five or so hours after the assessor was, or the adjuster was called by the guys from the outsourced claims payment. So it was done quite seamlessly. It was done perfectly well for him. So as you can see, I think the strategic partnerships that Tesla has with other insurers, they make it very easy for them to manage their insurance side of business, of which I think that is very good because as a company you can say that everything, insurance, making cars, you need to focus on what you do, right? So the other stuff is great, but let the pros do it, right? And then there's something called telematics, so which is quite it's still a newish technology, but it's now quite widespread. A lot of companies use it, especially the companies which have got a lot of fleets, like your trucks and everything, your trucking companies. So what it does is it monitors driving habits of drivers. So what insurance companies is that they have that installed on your car, so that as you drive, they are able to just identify the way you drive or figure out how you drive. Are you a risky driver? Are you a good driver? How do you react to certain stimuli on the road? You see, so it's like they just install this other black box or a gizmo or a gadget in your car so that it does that for you. And what it does is that the better driver that you are, you start to get your discounts, your rate discounts, and better terms for insurance. So because Tesla, then their cars are able to just send that information from your car, but you have to opt in to that. They can't do they can't just do it because very few people want to be monitored the way they drive. So you can either opt into this system or you can just stay out of it. But I think it's a good thing in the sense that it saves you a lot of money and it incentivizes you for good driving. You always know that someone is watching you. And if something happens, actually, it will also mean that someone has your back because they know that you are driving well. You see. So, but of course, some people don't like its big brother, approach. But I think it's a good thing. I would recommend that you have it. Right. So, how do you compare Tesla insurance versus other insurance? Well, Tesla insurance differentiates itself from all the other insurance companies in the sense that when it comes to specifically covering Teslas, I think it's the best because one is their cover is going to be very comprehensive. For instance, you can They will cover your wall charger, your electronic keys. They'll give you discounts for using the self-driving feature, the autopilot. And because, liabilities can also arise when one is driving the self-driving feature, Tesla actually provides insurance cover for these situations, right? And actually they also give you some discounts for using this feature. I think they want people to, they're just trying to encourage people to, because usually it's the machines are actually safer, should I say. They drive better than us. They don't get distracted that much, but of course we have to agree that there are some situations which just need human drivers, right? And then lastly, the other question that people ask is, will Tesla insurance dominate the insurance market? Well, it remains to be seen. Of course, Tesla is sort of like a company of the future. That's what a lot of people are saying. But insurance is a traditional business. It may innovate here and there, but the underlying philosophy is very conservative. So Tesla may have all the data it needs from their own cars and drivers, but they still don't have all the auto industry data that they would need to then take over the entire insurance market, because it's huge, right? So it still remains to be seen. I wish them the best. I think everybody wishes them great, because they're doing marvelous things. Their cars are so amazing, right? Otherwise, for now, guys, thank you so much for your time and for going through this together with me. May God bless you and enjoy your day or night.